yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I am doing a skit, but I do not have. I need some more volunteers.
I'll do it.
Oh, Chase wants to volunteer.
Trevor, I'm your biggest fan.
Come on, what are you doing?
Tell them what they're doing for filming everybody right now.
Hey, dude. What are you up to? All right, here we go. We're heading back.
Get down like it does. No, Abby. Just get down like it does.
What are they doing?
He's building. What are you building, Trevon?
I'm building a candy shop.
Building a candy shop.
Shit, man, what's the story?
Can you see it?
Cake.
Hold on, William. Come here, William.
You want a chair?
A chair?
What's Abby?
No,
Hey, if you're in Trevon's skit, you got to do what he tells you to do.
Do you see her?
Hey, William.
Oh, yeah. Okay, do the girl push-ups. 10 more girl push-ups.
Any more volunteers?
Yeah, Chase wants to.
I'm good.
Oh, me.
Oh, it doesn't matter that you're good. I'm good. Okay, Chase. Chase.
Hey, Trevon, I think Uncle Seth wanted to.
Hey,
Oh, except for his legs.
wait, Seth, before the fun?
Don't really have.
Where's your mom? I haven't seen your mom. Who's this kid?
Chereces.
Oh,
Casey's.
Oh, I'm the other doors. We're the doors.
okay, if you're the Doors, I want you to play Brown Eyed Girl.
Should I stop this until you did?
Losing circulation.
You got this, Trevor.
All right, come on. Are you going to move furniture around? Hey, Trevon, I'll help if you want.
Trevon, can you be the volunteer?
Here, help me up.
No.
That wasn't much help. What am I?
You want to go right there? The production. Let's write the production.
Sit down!
Next year.
We did it!
I like your flowers.
Now, everybody, let's do downward facing dog.
And stretch.
Just go once or twice.
Oh, you gotta come in the door. Remember, William, close the door. Everyone has to be really quiet while you listen.
All right.
Okay, open the door, William.
What would you like? Well, I got tons of suckers
Hey, did your dad know you got in his closet?
Hey, I have a joke.
That dress. Ha ha!
That doesn't nosy Pepper do. It's all because What do you call big noodle?
What?
A pool noodle.
Nice. That's a good one.
Okay. What do you call an alligator in a vest?
I don't know. What?
A what? A what? I didn't hear it.
What do you call an alligator in a vest?
An alligator vest.
Yeah,
Investigator.
Investigator.
Oh.
I'm dying.
What happens if you eat yeast and shoe polish?
I don't know.
You expand.
Every morning you'll rise and shine.
Happy website.
Between a guitar and a fish.
What is the difference between
You can't play a fish.
I can't tune a fish.
Yeah, go ahead and open up your eyes.
Oh.
You ready? Watch with me.
Volunteers?
We will need no volunteers. You know the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. You know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man, Muffin Man, Muffin Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane.
We both know the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. We both know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane.
Let's see what they're doing.
Did you hear the race between the lettuce and the tomato? The lettuce was ahead and the tomato was trying to catch up. What is it called when a cat wins a dog show?
A fix.
Why can't you give us a blue?
Elsa, who's Elsa first off?
She's frozen.
Oh, Frozen. You can't give her a what?
A blue. Why can't you give us a blue? Because you let it go.
William, how do you make a napkin dance?
You put a little boogie in it.
You want another?
What do lawyers wear to court?
Kangaroo suits.
Lawsuits. What gets wetter the more it dries? Anybody? Nobody knows? It is a towel.
Oh! I would have never got that.
What do you get if you cross a cat with a dark horse? Katy Perry.
A shotgun.
Kitty Perry. It's a cat. What did the pensile say to the other pensile? Pencil. What did the pencil say to the other pencil? You're looking sharp.
Ah!
A guy walks into a doctor's office and he says, "Doctor, it hurts here, it hurts here, it hurts here, it hurts here, it hurts here." And the doctor said, "Here, let me see your finger. Here's a Band-Aid."
when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. How I wanna be in the number when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, I want to be in the number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, I want to be in the number. When the saints go marching in. Oh, yeah!
Just like the world is ours. We're tearing it apart. You know we're superstars. We are who we are. We're dancing like we're done. Our bodies going on. We'll be forever young. You know we're superstars. We are who we are.
Oh, yeah.
Two fives. Right here. Too slow.
Didn't I do that exact same thing?
Okay. Too slow.
That was pretty good.
Mariana's helped her.
I think it's
Let's
just.
start a spot.
Put me up there.
Hey, Clark, go up there and try one.
and be quiet. When I was a kid, in my town, there was a black stallion. A huge, beautiful horse. And I had seen nobody in town could ride the black stallion. I had seen dozens of people try, most of them crippled for life. Well, this one day, I don't know what got into me, I was determined I was going to ride the black stallion. So I had like 6 root beers. And I walked up to him really slow. And all of a sudden I jumped up on top of him and jumped on the saddle, grabbed the reins, and for a second he didn't know what was going on. And all of a sudden he started jumping, and he went this way, and he went that way. And for like 3 seconds I held on for dear life. And all of a sudden I felt myself falling off. And I just thought, I hope I don't land in any poop. But as I was about to land, my foot got stuck in the stirrup. So here I am, stuck to the black stallion, and he's jumping, and he's twisting, and my head banging on the ground. And my short life is flashed before my eyes. Well, it was so short, it did it twice. And I knew death. I was about ready to just give up. I knew I was dead. I didn't even have time to pray. That's how fast this all happened. And I knew I was dead. But luckily for me, the store owner came out and unplugged him and told me to stop messing around and get back to school.
All right.
It starts, his old pal told him, when your life comes to an end. They comb your hair. I say it right to me. They wash your neck, and then they comb your hair and clean your fingernails. Then they put you in a padded box away from life's travails. Well, the box in you goes in a hole that's been dug in the ground. And reincarnation starts, my friend, when you're buried beneath the mound. Well, the clods melt down just like the box, and you who is inside is just beginning your transformation ride. Well, the clods melt down just like the box, and you who is inside, let's say, upon this rendered mound, a little flower is found. I didn't get that right, did I? Did you?
It's been a while, I'm a little rusty.
Just skip to the end.
I'll feel a lot better on it. A lonely flower is found, and say a horse may wander by and graze upon this flower, which once was you, but now has become a vegetative bower. Well, the flower, along with his other feed, goes to make fat, bone, and muscle, essential for the steed. But there's a part he cannot use. And so it passes through. And there it lies upon the ground, this thing that once was you. And say, I wander by and I look upon this thing and I think about life and death and such. And I come away concluding you really haven't changed too much.
About Jack and Ori, and now my story's begun. I'll tell you another about Jack and his brother, and now my story's done.
I'm going to tell a story about the golden gorilla. I'm just kidding. That's for another time. I thought I'd do Weensy Weensy Spider. Oh my goodness. need a volunteer.
Jonathan!
It needs to be a little more. I'm gonna take Maddie. Come here. Yeah, I need a volunteer. Maddie, come here. Hattie. You can do it. Okay, she doesn't have to.
Me.
It was a toss-up. Ken or William? Okay, now William is very intelligent. He can answer any question.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, Ken. All right. I need Rina, you be the regulator of the questions, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead. You ask the...
Ask the audience or ask it?
Yeah, ask the audience.
All right, Trevor, what's your question?
What?
What's your question for William?
What do you call a dog with a fever?
What do you call a dog with a fever? All right, Abby, what's your question?
How do you comb your hair?
All right, Trevon, what's your question? How do you go fishing? All right, Skylin, what's your question?
Lindsey.
All right, Karlie, what's your question?
How do you fly?
And he played Goliath. So ever since Adam got to go with me to watch it, and he thought it was really cool, so he wanted to be David. So Lyle and Adam will be learning David and Goliath. And Adam hasn't got as much practice as Lyle, but he's going to do awesome. So here we go. And we only have the pre-recorded thing, so we should have this.
Yes.
20 days have come and passed. How long will this last? Just one man is all I ask. I've stood here every day. What have you to say? Is there not just one of you who's brave?
your days are through, wine shaven, and while the Lord is on my side, there is no use to run and hide. He knows the day that you must die, and so do I. I'm David, and I'm back the Lord's command, and He says that you fall to my hand and sing my prayers if I were you, 'cause your days are through. I'm David.
Black Stallion.
No, it's not about that. This is the story about the greatest fisherman I ever knew. The greatest fisherman I ever knew was a great bear of a man. He had big, powerful, hairy arms and stout, hairy legs, and his body was covered in hair. For some reason, he grew his fingernails out long and sharp, his toenails too. I'll tell you, the greatest fisherman I ever knew didn't need no fancy rod and reel. Why, he'd just walk right into a river, reach down and grab a fish with his bare hand. One time, I even saw him duck his head in the water, came up with a fish in his mouth. That's how good he was. And I'll tell you, that guy, he didn't believe in that highfalutin, politically correct catch and release. If he caught a fish, he ate it. Sometimes right there while still wiggling in his mouth. If there was one thing he liked better than fish, it was honey. Why, sometimes he'd find a beehive and reach into it with his big long fingernails and rip it open, and the bees would come swarming out, and they'd go around his face and sting him in the head, and he'd let out a bellow of pain, and I'd laugh and laugh, and then he'd see me and get mad and run over and swat me upside the head, loosen up my scalp a little bit. But it's all in good fun. I'll tell you, it's kind of strange how some guys can be good at one thing like fishing and terrible at another thing like driving a car. Sometimes, actually 9 times out of 10, we'd be driving along. He was in the driver's seat. We'd end up in the ditch, upside down. He had his bad points, though. He lived to his own rules. He didn't like to wear clothes, and didn't like you to put them on him either. In fact, he stunk. His breath was terrible. Even if you tried to offer him a mint, he'd take the whole thing and swallow it down, and it still was really bad. And then there was his drug use. A couple times I remember seeing him stagger around town, the needle sticking out of his butt. Finally he'd fall over and the police have to come and haul him away, usually with a helicopter and a net. A couple days later though, he'd be back ready to fish. And when the other fishermen see him coming, they would run away. They were like, "We're not catching fish today." Just leave it to him. He didn't really speak a whole lot. A lot of times, he just kind of growl and chuff. And sometimes, if you didn't like the story you were telling, you had to play dead for a while. But if you filled his bowl full of whiskey, he'd calm back down and you could finish your story. Never really knew his name, you know. Sometimes when people would see him coming, they'd call him Grizz. But I don't think that was it. I tried calling him Winnie for a while. He just didn't cop to it. One day, I gotta tell you, the thing he taught me the best about fishing is that you didn't really need to know that much about fishing. You could catch as many fish by chasing the fish into the shallows and just pouncing on them. Or stealing them from another fisherman. Seems like as soon as fishing season was over, couldn't get him to do anything. All he wanted to do was sleep. In fact, think he would sleep throughout the whole winter if I'd let him. Which I eventually learned to do after repeated bites at the scalp. Then one spring, I remember seeing him. There's something different. I looked over there and I saw with him the two furriest little children ever. And that's when I realized the greatest fisherman in the world wasn't a man at all. He was a woman. Couple of magic tricks. So all the little kids want to be close because it's catered more towards them. You gotta sit on the ground over here.
Okay, careful.
That's a magic trick.
Abby is my lovely assistant for the day. Okay, should we start with a card trick? Should we start with a
Card trick!
Okay, card trick it is.
Oh.
Alright.
Hey, let's saw Spencer in half.
Okay.
That's for last, right?
Alright, I need a volunteer. You're my assistant. Alright, go over, Trevor. Okay, will you check, make sure the deck is legit deck? Just check every card. Check every card. You gotta make sure.
All right, now you tell a joke while he's checking.
Hey, assistant, you're supposed to look up here. Make sure it's 64. Is this enough? Okay, perfect. Okay, everyone, Trevor checked out the deck. It looks like it's a legit deck, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a trick. So I need one person to pick a card. Gotta pick a card. Okay, now memorize that card and make sure that you show everyone the card. And I won't look.
Up here, hold it for all of us. The two of diamonds. Okay, good job.
Seven of spades. Okay, can I turn around? Yes.
No, we're still looking.
Good?
Little Lyle, when he was little, he
Okay.
did a trick for us.
Okay, Abby, I want you to slide that card in there.
He's gonna make
It's
this.
okay, I saw it. Slide it in there.
Don't close your eyes. We'll see what we're
Slide
showing.
it in there, make sure that everyone can see I'm not holding the place where the card is, right? So now I'm going to put them behind my back, I'm going to flip the card over in the deck. I already saw what the card was, that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to flip it over, right? Right. Okay, I think I did it. Okay, Skylin, will you go through this deck real quick? Tell me if you see your card flipped over. Was that your card? Alright, I need another volunteer. Adam? Okay, Adam, I need you to go to an adult and get one of their wedding rings. Preferably a male wedding ring. Adam, I got you right here, baby. So, wow, I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. This is a heavy ring. Okay, so this trick, I have some special powers just in case you guys don't know. You see how this is at an angle, correct? I'm actually going to physically make the ring climb. Yes, climb. Oh, the wrong man. Oh my goodness. Okay? Let's see if I can do it.
Wow.
It's working. Guys, it's working. Guys, I don't know if I've ever done this before.
Hey, do you want to check?
Lucky what we did.
Okay. Who knows what this is?
A paper.
Piece of plastic. Good job. All right, so here I have a piece of plastic. I don't need a volunteer for this one, guys. Sorry.
I'll do it.
Good. Granny, you should come help me by sitting there. Okay, so this is a piece of plastic. I also have another special ability where I can move things with my mind. Who thinks I can do that?
Me.
Really? You really think I can do that? You can do anything. No, this takes a lot of concentration. I need everybody's energy right now. No, come see me. Need everyone's energy. Give me your energy real quick. So sit down. Let's see this. All right, Abby, are you ready? Okay, will you help me bend this? Will you help me bend it? Without touching? Give me your energy. Touch my arm. Hey.
Wow.
Okay, last but not least. Okay, everyone that hasn't helped me that's sitting here. I'm gonna need your help. Wait. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna make this nickel disappear. Okay, we'll stick it in my pocket. All right. Okay, so this nickel is gonna go underneath ball of water. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, now those of you that didn't help me come line up here real quick. And Abby, or Malia, you're last. Trust me, you'll want to. You're the main attraction.
Everybody get in line. Hurry up.
Everyone get in line. All right. Okay, Abby. Okay, everyone. Now I want you, Abby, to look. Move this over here. I want you to look under there. No, look through the top. Is the nickel there? Is the nickel there? Is the nickel there? Okay. Is the nickel there? Do it. Look down. Okay, fine. Trevor. So sit down. Trevor, is the nickel there? I'm going to make it disappear. Okay, Micah, is it there? Okay, good. Micah, is it there?
Sit down.
Sit down so we can all see.
Okay, sit down. Is it there? Spencer? Okay, sit down. Is the nickel still there? Okay. Is the nickel still there? Yes, it is. Okay, come forward. Make sure the nickel's still there. I want you to know how. Then you put it in my pocket, right? Check it out. Trevor, is the nickel still there? Okay, Adam, come look real quick. That's fine. Okay, Abby comes down over here. Perfect, thank you. All right, so the nickel's there. Everyone says, you want to come look, make sure the nickel's there? Okay, nickel's there. Go ahead, check it out.
Ah!
Still there, okay. All I got to do is put my wife's skirt over the top of this water.
Well, that would have been bad if he spilled on the skirt.
Okay. All right, now what's the magic word? Okay, I heard it. Okay, hey, stand over here.
Aggies.
Yes, you're going to make sure that it's gone. Because I made it go away, right? Hopefully I made it go away. That's the trick, right? Can you say the magic words for me, please? Okay, yeah. Let's see. Okay, check it out. Is it there?
Someone's being bashful. That's so right with me. Can't you see? Can't you see? I am just as embarrassed as you, and I can understand your point of view. I've always been shy. I confess it, I'm shy. Can't you guess that this carpet in air is a mask that I wear 'cause I'm shy? And you may be sure. Wait, I'm deep, I'm demure. Though some people I know might deny it, at bottom I'm quiet and pure. I confess that it's wrong to be meek as I am. My chances may pass me by. I pretend to be strong. As weak as I am, all I can do is try. Oh, how I try. Though I'm frightened and shy, I confess that I'm living a lie. Because I'm actually terribly timid and horribly shy.
It's called Death of a Bachelor by Panic at the Disco. I'm sure you've all heard of it, so sweet.
What?
Doesn't matter. Alright.
Is this country?
No!
We don't want to make your ears bleed.
Is it 80s rock?
No.
Well then, please, next.
My bad. Jose Bacon. The wrong gig, I suppose. Okay, here we go. Do I look lonely? I see my shadow from my face. People have told me I don't look the same. Maybe I lost weight. I'm playing hooky with the best and the best. My heart on my chest so that you can see it too. I'm walking the long road, watching the sky fall. The lace in your dress tangles my neck. How do I feel? The death of a bachelor. Oh, I just wanna be served. And when you think of me, am I the best you ever had? Share one more drink with me, smile even though we're sad. Walking along the road, watching the sky fall. The lace in your dress tangles my neck. How do I live the death of a bachelor? Letting the water fall. The death of a bachelor. Oh, sticks of waiting for happy ever after. Ooh, how can I ask for more? A lifetime of laughter at the expense of the death of a bachelor.
The song I'm going to play is something I've been kind of in my head for a while, but it didn't really start coming together until we were here for the funeral. In fact, it was at the chapel in Bernal, and I just had to, we were eating lunch, and I just had to step out because I just was having this flood of how the song was flowing together, and I just really felt impressed to name it after Grandma Alice. So this is, even though I don't really know her, I felt like in some small way she was right there with me. So this is called Alice.
When we were kids, sometimes Dad and Mom would take us out to a place called Stewart's Lake. Do you remember Stewart's Lake, Dad? Yeah. And so it was actually a springtime, and it was still, the lake was still covered with ice, but it was starting, there was like a thin layer of water on the ice, and so it was kind of a sunny weekend. And so I remember we were, as kids, we were like running and sliding on the ice and having a lot of fun. And that was pretty fun. My pants were all wet. But all of a sudden, boom, cracked, the ice cracked, and I fell through the ice. I fell through the ice, and I was like, panic-stricken. I was going up and down, and I was trying to pull myself up out of the ice, but I kept just, so I come up again, boom, falling down. I must have did it about 20 times. I thought I was going to die, And then all of a sudden I heard from the distance somebody say, "Stand up, you idiot!" And I looked up and there was Seth standing on the shore, and he saved my life, and that's why I'm here tonight.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Okay, knock, knock. Who's there?
Who's there?
Broken pencil. Broken pencil. Why does it matter? It doesn't have a point.
What happens to a wooden car with wooden wheels and wooden engines?
Doesn't go.
It wouldn't go.
Oh my God.
When you walk in and out of the bathroom, you're American. What are you when you're in the bathroom? Yeah.
We were out going camping one time. My scoutmaster and a bunch of the guys with me, and I was riding up with my scoutmaster. And the other guys were in the other car because we didn't have quite enough. of a sudden the car breaks down. And it's deep in the winter and it gets dark really early, and so probably about 8 at night, and we're in pitch dark. And off in the distance we see this wooden house. It looks like nobody's been there for a while, but we figured I'd go in there anyways while my scoutmaster tried to fix the car. And so I went to the cottage, and I kind of peeked around. It's an old cottage. There's only 2 rooms. In the first room there was an empty fireplace, and in the second room it was just empty. And in one corner there was a big coffin. A big coffin. So I kind of peeked into the room, made sure nothing was there. And as I started to leave the room, the coffin started hopping towards me. And as I kept backing towards the door, it kept moving. And so I reached into my pocket, pulled out my Hall's cough drops, and popped it in my mouth, and the coffin stopped. So there was this guy taking a girl to prom. And so he went through a lot to get ready for it. He went to the flower shop and got her flowers. But there was a huge line. He waited and waited and waited, but he finally got these flowers. He was really fancy, so he decided to rent a limo. He got to the limo rental, and for some reason, that had a huge line too. So he waited and he waited and he waited. Finally, he got the limo. Anyways, they get to the dance, they have a really amazing time, and the girl asks him, "Hey, can you go get me some punch?" And so he goes to the punch table, and there's no punchline.
Over the years, I've taught my daughters how to put their makeup on. It was so hard, and especially Lindsey, she sells Mary Kay now, and so she's a real pro.
Maybe you ought to talk to Lindsey about her hairy arms.
But they've all done so well. We want to demonstrate all of their talents here tonight. So first, start off with the base. Brush the hair out of your face. Pat your cheeks.
We're going to lose you. You've only got 20% power.
Put on their makeup.
Some people are more excited than others. Pippa sharing her email. Oh, here we go. Hey, let's just get to the lipstick.
Oh, yes, lovely.
to get you back over here. Okay, here. You got to get up here.
Oh my gosh, I totally missed this I like to put myself in my face. I enjoyed this so much.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Rochelle, how beautiful you are.
What do you think? Did they learn well?
Don't worry, I shall work the camera. I'm expert.
I guess she got it.
Gotta be perfect.
Talent show for a while. It's been pretty fun. I had to work all day.
Who's the judge now?
Did I tell you I got a new job?
By applause, let's start with Trina. We'll start with you.
Yeah, when we opened the new holding the kid is